Yeah, Kelly wants to rock.
I want to go home. I mean, I'm at home, but I want to go to.
Yeah, something else. Got.
Well, I just got
Okay,
off in 11. An
I'm
11-hour
ready to
shift.
start
How
as
do
soon
you
as
think I
anybody else is
feel?
ready. We just need to
Say,
have
what you
some
talking
fun.
about?
I said I just got off an 11-hour shift. How do you think I feel?
I'm tired. Tired
All
too.
right, guys, I get it. Wait. We all tired. I just woke up too. Y'all see my face. I get it.
Yeah, but I worked from 5 a.m. to 4 p.m.
And I
So
work from 10 to 6, okay? And I mean, it's all good, guys. Let's
it's not the same.
let's come up with a topic and
I don't have
All right.
we can sulk in our problems separately.
I don't want to sulk in anything, but she challenged me. So.
The topic isn't how long we work or
All right. I thought didn't. All right.
Does the Lord want us to go to work every day?
is it effective or effective when you're asking about something having an effect? It's effective, right? With an E. Well, if we get it wrong, y'all correct us because anybody tell y'all to make the English language so hard. Okay.
It's terribly hard. People don't realize how difficult it is.
All right, go ahead, Kelly.
Oh, boom shakalaka.
Top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Worst Ones Podcast. This is the podcast for us preachers' kids to come and be the absolute worst. My name is Rudy Wilson. I am a preacher's kid. We got Kellie Leezy in the building. She's a preacher's kid. Terry Weezy in the building. He's a preacher's kid. And Jay Rihanna is out right now, but she is also a preacher's kid. Excuse me. We are back. We were off last week because myself as well as Kellie Lee were traveling for our producer and all of her festivities that she had going on in the state of California, city of LA, region of Burbank. I don't know if that's a region, but y'all get it. So let's start with, Terry, I'll start with you, and then Kellie, we can do our little recap of California. So Terry, how have you been?
Tired, overworked, but it is what it is. It's all about to change for me. So about to find out. My work is about to go from 50 minutes away, 50, to 8 minutes away, which is going to make a big difference because when you have to be
change. Wasn't that supposed to happen a couple weeks ago?
Well, it did. I went. The way that this particular training goes is I spend a week at the corporate office. I spend 3 weeks at a training location. And then I spend a week at the corporate office and then another 3 weeks at that same training facility. So the corporate office is 5 minutes away from me. Easy. The training facility location is 50 minutes away from me, which isn't that bad. But when you're working on either a 10 or an 11-hour shift, that 50 minutes turns that 10, 11-hour shift into a 12, 13-hour day, So not to mention cuts about 12% of your annual income out if you go by standard mileage. So having that change is going to be amazing. So I'm just waiting out the 2.5 weeks and grinding my teeth until then. Also, on a happier note, because just for instance, once it changes, when you have to be at work at 5, once that changes, instead of waking up at 3:45 to go to work, I'll be able to wake up at like 4:40 to go to work, 4:30 tops. And that hour might not seem like a lot, but it is. That is a big hour. That's the difference between going to bed at 9 and 10, So it is definitely a big hour. But also on more positive note, this past Saturday we did a gender reveal for the baby.
And you're having a.
Right. I'm like,
I already know. I saw the video, but
Oh, you saw the video? Okay. Yes, just like in The Godfather, my first child will be a masculine child. So
yeah, he's having
we
a
are
son.
having, yes, I will have a son.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank
Is he
you.
going to be Terry Wayne, whatever your last name?
Absolutely not.
Third.
Absolutely not. And that's a question a lot of people ask because I am a second, and it's Terry Wayne Bomar. It's Terry Wayne Bomar
But I
the
know
second.
Wayne wasn't your last name. I said that it was something
It's
else.
fine. Yeah, it's Terry Wayne Bomar the second. But I will not do that.
Why not?
Well, I was going to explain. I will not do that because, first of all, let's just get the obvious out of the way. Terry is a very effeminate name for a young man to have in high school. It just is. Okay. My father went through it. I went through it. I'm not going to put my kid through it. Secondly, it's very narcissistic. I don't even like the name Terry. I don't like my name. When I was like 17, 18, and I was thinking maybe since now I'm getting into actually my life now, maybe I'll just go by Wayne. But then I was like, I don't even own a van. I don't party too much into my 30s. Like that's a Wayne. A Wayne is like 37 and he's like, let's find some coke. Like that's a Wayne. He's like, and a Wayne lives in his van and tries to hit on high school girls. Like, I don't want to be a Wayne. So I didn't have a whole lot of options. I thought about changing my name, but I didn't want to change my name and offend my father. But also, here's the most important part. The most important part is when you get named after anyone, whether it be, in my case, like your father or your grandfather or whoever, when you get named after somebody, you don't have a full identity to yourself. You know what I mean? It feels like you're just a copy of somebody else and somebody saw you. Like, for instance, let's take my example. My father basically said, this is my first son, so he's going to be a copy of me. And especially with us, because our genetics are very strong in the male side of my family. So I look very, very similar to my father, and I have his same name. So there is part of me that was like, I never got a chance to be my own person, even if it's just 25%, that means a quarter of me belongs to somebody else. And I wouldn't do that either. So, yeah. I'm very strategic when it comes to this. I'm not picking a name that I like, that I can go with. I picked a name. I said, if I ever have a son, this will be the name, and I'm not going to tell you. But I picked it when I was 14 because I was, and I've kept that name for 30 years in my head.
Does your wife agree with the name?
Well, we're going through a little bit of a thing with that right now, because originally when I told her the name, she's like, that's great. I like it. And I was like, good, because I picked it 30 years ago. And we had that conversation like before we even started trying to have a kid. Well, I say trying, meaning like not preventing. But right now, she's very pregnant and she's going through there's a lot of emotions and a lot of, thoughts that are swinging, and, it just is what it is. But, she's a good woman. Doesn't matter. I think we're going to come back and come to, reasonable place. We're reasonable people. So, but there's a lot of time, she's just over 3 months pregnant now. So we got like 6 months to hash this thing out. But yeah, she liked it. Now we're kind of bouncing around, trying to figure things out, but anyway, my point was that I picked the name not based on something I like, but based on a very mathematical formula based on how the child is going to get along socially, how my son will grow up, how his school life will be, how his adult life would be, something strong, but something unique, something, familiar, but also you've never met anybody named this, but it also, feels like a normal name, that kind of thing. Like I was very mathematical about it because again, I don't want the same experience for my son that I had,
Well, if we're still here 6 months later, I can't wait to hear this name.
Why you got to put it like that? Like if we're still here 6 months later.
I don't know if we're still gonna be here 6 months later, but if we still here 6 months
you mean
later,
the podcast, or is one of us gonna die? Like, why would you put it that way?
I definitely meant the podcast.
I know.
Interpreted it wrong. Definitely.
Well, if we're not here, I'll tell you on the last broadcast. How about that? But no, we decided since all the members of her family, all the members of my family, everybody's so involved and everything, we just wanted to keep one thing just for us.
Yeah, understood.
It's sweet, right? Yeah, it's a sweet thing.
I like that.
Yeah.
Privacy is good.
Well, no, we just got to pick one thing that could just be for us, and that's that. So
I get that for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, little boy, that's what's happening. Hey, I don't care as long as they're healthy and they're trans, I'll be fine.
They're healthy and they're trans.
Yeah, I'm raising them trans. That's what I'm doing. I'm raising a little trans kid.
Got it.
I'm doing it on purpose.
Got it.
Hey, it's legal. I can do that.
Got it. Got it.
It's a joke.
In the spirit of talking about little baby boys, Kellie Lee.
Well, you go. I don't want to say nothing. I'm going to blame it all on you.
You pregnant with a little boy? You gonna make your announcement?
But I don't know if we were allowed to say it on the podcast. So if somebody gonna say it, you're gonna say it.
What, that Reese pregnant? What are you talking about?
Yeah, we haven't said that yet.
Oh, you were serious? I thought you guys were kidding.
We have.
I've never said it. I haven't been released to even post on Instagram.
Oh wow, released. All right. I'm
really
so, no.
Okay. I'm gonna get out of here on advice of my counsel. On advice of my counsel, I'm just gonna get out of here.
Oh, even after this weekend, she showed me where everybody else, his family posted, but I can't post. I can't post that after the baby is born.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I guess because our whole family knows. Like, I can't think of one person that don't know. And I'm talking about like extended family who that don't even talk to Reese like that.
Right. But
how are you going to keep all those people silent?
So then why do we even bring up the fact in the group chat that we'll have a lot to talk about? When you said when we didn't record
we cutting all this?
Well, yeah, obviously at this point, but I'm saying, but why
this just feels like
I will co-sign.
Well, this feels like Rudy. It seems like Rudy let the tea out. Rudy spilled the tea,
right?
And now he's trying to backpedal out of it.
Terry, did you know Risa was pregnant?
I had no idea, too. I thought you guys were kidding.
Everybody on this podcast definitely knew. Terry just don't pay attention. He just
I'm sorry. I don't pay attention to your group text. No, not that much.
My group text. See that? Yeah, this podcast won't be here 6 months from now.
What? No, not your particular group text. I just mean the group text. No,
I'm calling Lisa.
Rudy and I traveled to LA.
There we go.
I went Wednesday, which is why none of us recorded, but I didn't record to Monday morning, so I'm still tired because Risa, our producer, my best friend, is having a baby boy, and so her baby shower was this weekend. We did both an in-person and a virtual one. I am her baby's godmother. You can see that. Crimson's godmother.
Oh, that's a nice class.
Yeah.
You bought that or Risa gave it to you?
She gave me. That's how she asked me. It was a box that says, "Will you be?" And then when you take it out, it says Crimson's godmother.
Damn. Everybody getting all these little special gifts. I ain't getting nothing.
you just kind of uncle by default. Like
Right.
you got to ask you to be the uncle. You uncle by default.
Mhm.
But yeah, so she's having a little baby boy. Baby shower was Instagram worthy, amazing. I didn't get much footage or pictures. Rudy did, and so maybe one day we'll post those. But it was great. I helped host the game. So it was a good time. And then on Sunday, we did a virtual baby shower. Her mom, well, Rudy and Risa's mom, her sister and her best friend hosted that one. That one was more work than the in-person one. I was the Zoom operator.
Zoom operator.
Right. And it was a lot. But we got good feedback. I don't think people saw me working behind the scenes like trying to figure stuff out.
Now you know what it feels like to be a producer.
Man, and I was like, Risa was like, I looked over one day and you were just like intent. Like at one point they were asking me something. I was like, hold on, give me a minute. The hard part was I had to give everybody that came in a raffle number. That was the hardest part because when they enter, they come in at the bottom for a few seconds, but then it goes alphabetical order. And so after I go alphabetical order and all the late people, then I'm like, oh, I can't find y'all no more. So I don't know. So I'm trying to find them before the raffle and give numbers. And people like, I didn't get a number. You did get a number. It was
You did get a number.
You did. One of your old church members was like, I still didn't get a number. I'm like, yes, you did.
Yeah, I understand.
It was a lot. It was a lot, but it was a good time. It was a blessing and honor to be a part of the celebration. It was my first time meeting her boyfriend. And so he was great, his family was great. So it was a great weekend of fun. It was a great weekend of fun and family and fellowship.
I'm assuming y'all didn't record.
Speaking,
right.
So Zoom operator failed. Well, she failed. Your mom asked me maybe about an hour before. Somebody had texted her or something about, are you going to record? And so she had mentioned it about an hour before. Oh, yeah, let's record. I had practiced pressing the record button, all of that. When we get to the actual baby shower, do I press record?
Nope.
Nope. I failed.
Had to be there.
I failed. And I felt so bad at the end when I remembered. I was like, oh, crap, I didn't record it. And so
you had a lot going on.
I did. And so I told Ms. Varnell, and of course your mom was like, super cool. It's okay. But I and even Risa, it was like, it was fine. But I know deep down they were disappointed. And I was really disappointed. And so when they hear this, I'm sorry. And I've been thinking about it since Sunday.
You know, and just with this whole thing, like, because I'm doing all this, like all the stuff I should be doing, right? Like, because I got the what to expect and you're expecting here. And there's just so many titties in this book. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, it just shows you like how you're crazy.
By a drawing of boobs.
I'm not. But I'm acknowledging. I'm acknowledging drawings of boobs. You know, my wife is a well-endowed woman, as it is. So like when I see things like, you know, this, you know, go to this, you know, I'm thinking like, whoa. I'm thinking more medically for her perspective, you know.
Can she hear you right now?
Yeah. Yeah. We know we've had this conversation. She thinks about it too. Because it's like just medically, just not even medically, just as a human being. It's like, hey, you got to carry around this 10 pounds every day. And then it's like, no, you got to carry around this 30 pounds every day. It's rough.
If she plans to breastfeed,
it's rough on ladies, man.
It really is. And I appreciate you for acknowledging that.
Yeah, it is. It's rough.
My understanding is if she plans to breastfeed, then hopefully she will drop some of that extra weight in her breast and her body in general.
Well, that doesn't really work that way. I just learned about that.
What did it say? What the book say?
Well, it can go on as pretty much as long as you want it to. It can go on for years if you want it to.
Years?
Breastfeeding.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying breastfeeding may help with some of the weight when women say.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, we're definitely we talked about all that, and it's probably just going to be a pumping situation, for the most part. Which I agree with. I'm like, if we have the technology to where you don't have to suffer with long chewed up nipples, like why should you bother doing that? Like, I mean, I do care about the antibodies and the natural protections that a mother's milk gives to their child. I'm all about that. Very food orientated, obviously, even from birth. But no, there's no reason to go down that road if you don't have to.
It's all, but like you said, and I wrap up my part. It's all a lot on a woman's body.
It's a ton. So why take on extra if you don't have to? You know what I mean? Like why make it harder if it's not necessary? If you can get all the same nutrition, all the same antibodies, all the same protections, and it's a little less suffering, I'm all about it. So,
and each woman has their own different choice on kind of what they want to do and why, but
that last drip of your in that.
No, I really want to get up and get some more, but then I have to turn off the camera.
No, we had a very
up just for that little raindrop.
We had a very rational conversation about it. We're very rational people. How do we get the maximum benefit with the minimum, price paid towards my wife? We'll do a couple of rounds just for the connection between the baby and mother, but that'll be it. That won't be.
We gotta get to the topic, guys. So I was in California too. We had a great time. All right. So let's move on. This intro has been almost 30 minutes. All right. So
you got to go back and cut some of it out anyway.
No, I don't have to cut it now.
Cut out the part where we were trying to figure out. That would sound bootleg.
Can you stop giving me stuff to cut, Kelly? Just
cut it.
Let's just move on.
Cut it.
Let's move on. All right. So and I will plug this video in later just for context. But Kelly has a couple rappers in the family. Uncle and son duo. Uncle and cousin duo, I should say. K1 and K2. Both rapping currently.
They rap together?
No, they just both rapped.
Oh.
We just literally just watched the video.
But I was like, well, maybe I missed the part when my cousin came in at the end. Like maybe he came in.
No. I just said you got two rappers in the family. That's it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So where we
you
going?
are tired. But Currently Senior, Pastor Currently Senior was rapping. Apparently this ain't the first time because Kelly was like he updated the lyrics. So this is something that he
did this at the beginning.
Rapping is for the devil. I think we all know that.
That it's something that he'd been doing. And of course we had your cousin on probably at least a year ago at this point. Where he raps too, not so much Christian. Definitely was spitting and whatnot. But I even have one of my best friends. He does. He's a Christian rapper as well, and then and actually Christian rap. It's been around for a while, but it's probably more accepted now than ever. Even with the Lecrae's and D1s and what's his name? Anaminio.
Well, you just think that because you never heard Fresh Fish back in the early '90s. That's why.
Sure, but but I know Christian rap at one point was kind of looked at as corny, but now, like I said, it is a pretty relevant thing now. So, my question for you all is Christian rap effective? Is it something that just say has equal contribution and value as Christian music, like our traditional singers, the Donnie McClurkins, et cetera, or is it just a way of Christians trying to conform to this world, to be cool, and still get the preach the gospel, if you will?
Christians are never going to be cool. Let that dream die. That's never going to happen. Christianity is just never going to be cool. It's just not. But is it an effective tool? Sure. Use all the tools at your disposal. I'm not against it. I mentioned Fresh Fish. Fresh Fish was an actual Christian rap group back in the early 90s. They were very successful in the Christian community as far as, Christian rappers in the early 90s went. This wasn't Run DMC, but, they were selling out shows and doing things. Were they lame? Oh, yeah. They were very lame. And I highly recommend you seek out the music of Fresh Fish. But were they trying to do something good? Yeah, good for them, But it's you're never gonna have a Christian rapper who's gonna challenge, Dr. Dre or Snoop Dogg. It's never gonna happen. It's just not. It's just one of those things. One of those art forms speaks to tragedy and hurt and, a relatable thing that a lot of people can get behind, and one of those other things is very positive and it's like, just leave it behind, man. Just leave this. And people are negative creatures. We just are. We're negative beings, If you take an animal and you feed them red berries, right? There's a red berry theory. If you feed them red berries and the red berries make them sick, then they never go around the red berries again, right? But if you feed an animal something they enjoy, they don't remember it as much as the red berries. Like, we'll always remember the things that hurt us more than the things that make us happy. It's just part of our instincts, part of our DNA. It's part of our survival instinct. We stay away from the things that hurt us. We call it trauma, but animals just call it living a life.
So, effective. I don't know if I can answer that question. And I don't know if I can answer it because I don't really listen to secular rap either. So when I read, is Christian rap effective? I think of, does it serve the same purpose? Does it hold the same value in the Christian world that secular rap holds for secular world? So I don't know, because I'm not really a big rap person. So it doesn't, I don't know. But do I think there's a place for Christian rap? Do I think that it's, an appropriate means or okay means of like art form and music? Absolutely. I think that music drives life, like we all enjoy music for different reasons, different purposes. When I listen to rap, it's mostly for the beat. Oh, this is a nice beat. Most of the secular rap, they're talking about the same stuff, girls and guns and drugs and, whatever, whatever.
Sure.
But I don't think anything is wrong with Christian rap. I don't think anything is wrong with, you not at all. Just like there's nothing wrong with gospel music or Christian music. To me, rap is the same way. Like you said, my uncle has used rap from the pulpit for a while now. Like I said, he had a couple of new lyrics in this one. I've heard I've heard that rap for years. I was like, oh, that was a new one. I was trying to sing along or rap along, and he had changed up some stuff. I'm like, okay. But you saw the congregation go wild and they love it, and so I don't think, and of course that's not a real song, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with it at all. Like, I know my friends have sent me some Instagram posts of like Christian clubs, and you don't want to go to the Christian club and you just listening to Donnie McClurkin and Tasha Cobbs and or whatever. Like, get some Christian
club there in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. There's one in Atlanta, yeah. And they play nothing but gospel music, and and even like, right or wrong. I remember back in my club days in college, you know what the song was when they would turn on the lights and it was time to go? Stomp. Stomp. When they played Stomp, you knew it was like 2-3 gospel songs. They would play right there on the end when they would turn on the lights and it was time for you to go. Because it had a nice little beat to it. So again, effective in terms of, does it do the same for rap lovers in the secular world that it does for Christians? I don't know. An appropriate art form for Christians to listen to? Absolutely. To me, rap is just, the beat and the cadence and the way in which you speak your lyrics. You can turn a rap song into an R&B song. Now sometimes I feel like I read a meme today, not a meme, like a little reel today, and I don't know if you remember. Hey, I can't even remember the song, but it's the BB and CC Winans song. And somebody was like, "Am I the only one who thought that BB and CC Winans were singing a love song to each other because they were married?" I'm like, absolutely not. They're siblings. And they were singing to God. But again, like, music is music. Like, it gives you that feeling. Like, they were singing about the love of God, but somebody felt to the love of their significant other. So
That's so funny that you say that, because I used to think that BB and CC were married as well.
I think a lot of people did, but yeah, no,
Yeah,
brother and sister. And
that's the risk you take when you have the same name.
so yeah, so no, I think it's perfectly fine. Like I said, watching my uncle on the pulpit doing the rap, like I said, I felt no ways about it at all. Go for it, Hey y'all, sorry to interrupt, but we have a few church announcements. Follow us on Instagram at TheWorstOnesPK. New content coming soon. We also have a TikTok at TheWorstOnesPK. No content yet, but continue to check us out. If you want to, when you listen to our podcast, you can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your podcast. Just make sure you type in The Worst Ones Podcast and you'll find us. And when you get there, make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, and you share. Thank you to our 500,422 followers. We love you so much. Now, back to the show.
Well, is it effective? Yeah. I mean, everything is effective. Like in the internet age that we live in now, you can find a group or a magazine or a website to get it dedicated to whatever weird thing that you want to find. I mean, everything's there. Literally, the internet connected 8 billion people together. You're never going to be alone regardless. How effective it is up for debate, but you're always going to be, there's always going to be that one song or that one thing that is going to grab people. Now, how effective it is, I don't know. Are you going to turn somebody from Snoop Dogg to your Christian rapper? I don't know. But are you going to turn somebody who might be looking into Christianity being like, hey, it's not so nerdy after all. Look at this. They got their own rappers and everything. You know what I mean? Yeah, probably. I'd say it's probably going to be 27% as effective as they wish it would be.
Yeah. So, for one, Christianity is definitely cool, Terry.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know we were living in your world. It's just not.
It's not. I'm just. I mean, we're not stuck in your world of thinking that it's not cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving my take on it. That it's definitely cool.
Sure. Okay.
Some people's, experiences may make them feel otherwise. Some people's experiences may make them feel like Christianity is fake. That wouldn't make me say that it's fake just because that's how somebody feels.
I didn't say fake. I said
I didn't.
Not
I
cool.
didn't say that you said fake. I said some people may say that.
Okay.
But my point is, just because somebody feels the opposite of me doesn't mean that I don't feel the opposite of them, and I'm not forcing it to be my world. I'm just saying it's definitely cool. I definitely haven't grown up in a just say a world where I had a bad experience with Christianity that made me feel like it was corny, but in the sense of Christian rap, it definitely was corny to me at once upon a time, especially like growing up in the 90s, early 2000s. And that's because mainly for one, not even really knowing that many like mainstream Christian rappers back then. I mean, I just knew different people who would try to do, Christian rap, and then, you'll be at church and, they'll be doing chants like "Ain't no party like a Holy Ghost party because the Holy Ghost party don't stop." And so as a child, when you are listening to secular, music and you hear that same phrase be used in the secular world, and then they try to use it into the Christian world, it can come off as a little lame. But then I've also, been to Berean where they flipped, secular rap songs into Christian songs that I thought was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, taking the white tea song, flipping it, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? And this was as a child, still, growing up as a child in real time. So I think if done correctly and not trying to do too much, but also people understanding what it is that like, oh, I see what y'all did there, instead of, I slang in my white tees, I praise in my white tee. I get it. I'm with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it was lit. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah.
I think that was 2004 takeover. It was
Yeah.
2003, 2004. Amazing
Yeah.
time.
I about to say it probably was a little bit earlier than that because 2004 I was in high. I think it was definitely before I was in high school. So probably when I was like in middle school. So maybe somewhere there, 2002, 3, somewhere in there. But yeah, so stuff like that I think works. But like I said, now, especially with one of my best friends being a Christian rapper now, and so he sends me a lot of his music, which has then made me pay attention to other Christian rappers in reference to giving him feedback. It's made me be more aware because even Lecrae's been around for a long time, but I never really like even listened to Lecrae. I just knew that he was around, but I never actually like listened to his music. But I've listened to a lot more of their music here more recently, just to be able to kind of compare and contrast like what it is he's doing, what it is they're doing, to be able to give him different feedback. Like I said, and I like I said earlier, I've noticed that Christian rap has definitely become way more popular and accepted, and way more mainstream. Even just to the fact of people like Lecrae winning Grammys and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like it's definitely a thing because at one point in time growing up, the closest thing you would get to Christian rap or even just say Christian music that didn't sound so traditional would be your Kirk Franklins, your Mary Marys, Ty Tribbett's, et cetera, et cetera. And then everybody else was singing. It sounded like they were just singing more traditional gospel songs or hymns and stuff like that. So I don't know if Kirk and them were ever initially trying to rap, but just was trying to, blend in or just their style of, upbeat gospel songs was just because even with Mary, they were singing, but they would have like, to your point, Kelly, about, the beat or whatever, they would have dope beats that they would be singing too. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the things that made Shackles so catchy was the beat. You know what I'm saying? Like the way it came on, it didn't sound like this was getting ready to be your traditional gospel song. You know what I'm saying? So I think even when I remember at New Beginning when the youth had danced to Shackles, it definitely wasn't the tradition. I think that was one of the first times I've seen it wasn't like a traditional praise dance where they had like the white flowing whatever and then we fall down. It wasn't doing that. Like it was more like a hip hop dance. Might even have like a little stepping in it.
Yep.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So like that was like our first like kind of introduction to that side of Christian music. And then like I said, so the rappers have now made their way onto the scene as far as in a place where they shooting all types of music videos and, I even seen a song. It came across my timeline when I had social media. I don't know what the name of the song is, but I know the hook said something like, I got the Bible going viral like it's TikTok or something like that. So it's all that type of stuff. So with all of that context being given, I do think that it's more effective now than it ever has been. And I know D1 is a rapper now. He was recently on the Breakfast Club. He's kind of been known. And this isn't the only thing he was known for, but he's kind of been known for. I don't want to use the term calling out rappers, but more or less like, I guess, challenging rappers in a positive way to kind of like just clean up their message in their music. Not necessarily they got to make gospel music, but just to not glorify like selling drugs and sleeping with women and all of that type of stuff. And so on his Breakfast Club interview, I know that was a lot what they kind of talked about or whatever, and he kind of is taking a stance on that, as far as saying that even if you're going to talk about just say your past experiences because of what the environment you grew up in, like come from a point of view of saying this is what I went through and this is what I made it out of, as opposed to this is the life that I'm glorifying, even though you 9 out of 10 don't even live that life anymore because you're a multi-millionaire. So I do think that maybe in our lifetime we may not see all the just say effective change of it, but I do think if people like him and others continue down that path, there may be a such thing as just say the names Terror's using, your Snoop Dogg's and Dr. Dre's, creating music that is more on that side that I may discuss or talk about what I've been through in life that may not be as Christian as some other songs, but I'm still not coming from an angle of glorifying, but just more of just saying, this is what this is what I've been through, but I'm now here, and this is how you can, come out of it. So,
Well, first of all, I feel a little attacked when you were saying oh, well, if you had certain experiences in your life and this is why you don't like it. No, it's not that. It's not that. I mean, it's just objective. Like, it's not even subjective. It's objective. Okay. There's been Christian rock for a long time. And I myself went through a big Casting Crowns phase, where I was like, Casting Crowns, they make great music, and I was a big fan. But they're not doing Rolling Stones numbers. You know what I mean? Like, they're not selling out stadiums all throughout the world. They're just not. It's an objective fact that it's not as popular. Okay. And you can have the best Christian artists in the world, and they're not going to be as successful. And, like you said, different rappers. One of my favorite rappers is Mos Def, right? And Mos Def doesn't rap about glorifying, criminal lifestyle. He doesn't rap about, he just raps about reality. And the best Christian rappers on the world wish they had his numbers. So it's not a personal feeling. This is an objective fact. It just is. And I think that part of that is because it's just viewed as not as cool. It's just not as cool, and it doesn't reach as many people. Again, I think that's just an objective fact. It's not
for
like
sure. And I definitely wasn't talking about you in all of my examples. But we also
I was pretty much kidding with the attack thing.
No, I got you. But we also live in a sinful world. I mean, so of course, I'm sure it's way more people having premarital sex than abstaining. You know what I'm saying? But that's so. I mean, it's more people probably doing something dishonest than being honest. It's probably more people you could go down the list.
Yes, there are more imperfect people.
It's more people eating McDonald's than vegetables. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I mean,
true.
like that's so. I get in reference to like the numbers. Like the Rolling Stones versus Casting Crowns. Like, of course, I get. I even understand why that is. Not even just necessarily who's better or worse or who's but the wrongdoing is just the more popular thing to do, especially here on Earth. I mean, that's
more relatable.
It's not even
More
just
people
relatable.
have done wrong Then
it's not even
have it.
relatable. It's just more pleasurable to your flesh. You know what I'm saying? Like to do the wrong thing. That's why even people who are following Christ closely have to, die to their flesh and stuff like that, because you're gonna want to do the more, just say, popular thing, like the
Cooler.
they
The
call
cooler
it
thing.
the straight and narrow, because it's that straight and narrow is the least traveled road. You know what I'm saying? Even the Bible talking about, the righteous, scarcely making it into heaven. That's because, which is why we all need grace and the blood of Jesus to be saved and stuff like that, because we're going to choose the wrong thing. I mean, Adam and Eve from the beginning, they chose the wrong thing. Like it's harder to do the right thing. It's harder to go the, just say the Christ-like path. So I get in reference to why the numbers are offset like that. But for the ones who are doing the Christian rap, or doing anything for that matter that leads towards that narrative, I do think that it will. The ones that are doing it now will definitely plant a seed for the ones that will do it later, and it will help, just say, balance out those numbers as time progresses. Because once upon a time, there was no Christian rappers doing any numbers, and now there are ones who can, I don't know if they're selling out stadiums right now, but they're definitely selling out, theaters and stuff like that, winning
Sure.
Grammys, and having, having an effect on even young people, let alone, just say adults. So I think that, if this movement continues, I do think it'll become more and more of a thing, and like I said, and just have a bigger effect, especially more than it has had in the past. Because to your point, Terry, it definitely has been. The numbers have definitely been lopsided in a major way when it comes down to, just say, the secular artists versus the Christian artists, and that's whether you're talking about rap, singing, rock and roll, etc. So,
Well, it means the same thing as far as you just talking about the religion. Like, Americanized Christianity is on the decline. It's been on the decline for 15 years. Like, that's just the way it is. That's the cultural shift is, you got to keep your numbers up if you want to grow. Right now it seems more like a triage situation in American Christianity, because it is on decline. What does that mean as far as biblically is concerned? That's a long conversation, I don't think any one of us is meant to understand it, to be honest. But, as far as just acknowledging what's going on, I think it's better to be smart about it. Like my dad always said, God didn't give you a brain for you to sit on it. He wants you to use it. And that doesn't mean, putting your chin up and hoping for the best all the time. Sometimes that means acknowledging what's around you, and to even mention the best, most successful Christian artist in the same vein as a successful secular artist. I mean, it's a little ridiculous. The greatest Christian artist I ever knew in my life was a guy named Carmen. Do you guys know who Carmen is? Carmen was a huge Christian singer back in the 80s and the 90s. Huge arenas. He would sell out arenas all the time. And churches would buy blocks of tickets for all their youth programs to go, for all their congregations to go. He was like the Garth Brooks of Christian music. And by the way, before you even refute that, Garth Brooks is the number one selling artist in the world as far as touring goes. Bigger than MJ, bigger than the Beatles. And Carmen was like their version. But if you were to put him up against, I don't know, Ariana Grande, it's not even close. It's not even
it's not even a competition, numbers wise. Again, I'm just saying, and I'm not being cynical. I'm just acknowledging the obvious.
No, I didn't. You had something, Kelly? Oh, no, I know. I didn't. I wasn't going against what you said about the numbers. I was just explaining to you why the numbers is the way that they are. Like I understand who has the higher ticket sales. Just like I said, I understand that if you looked up, McDonald's numbers versus, just say I don't know, a more clean eating place like McDonald's is going to have, I mean, they even have it on their sign, billions and billions served. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. People know that McDonald's is fake and they still eat it. Like it's, or we've still.
But there's a reason for that.
No, but yeah. I know, that's why I'm saying I acknowledge the reason before you even re-referenced everything about the Garth Brooks and the numbers and everything like that. Like I get why the numbers are offset like they are. My only point is the people who are, especially speaking on Christian rap specifically, the ones that have done it in the past and the ones that are doing it now, I think are going to make it more effective for the ones who are going to do it later on. Like I said, they may not reap the benefit here in present day, but as they are creating a wave for Christian rap right now and creating an effectiveness for it now, I think those numbers will even out a little bit more. Will they ever be exactly even? Will a Christian rapper ever, outsell a secular artist? I don't know. I don't know the future, but I do think that the gap will shrink as these guys continue to go because right now they're making a wave that I didn't realize that they would ever make, because at once upon a time, even to myself, Christian rap was definitely looked at as corny, as something like, man, why are they doing this? Like, Christian rap is stupid. They might as well just, maybe do what Kirk Franklin them are doing. But they've proven, myself and others wrong by what they're doing now. So I think that if they continue on, it'll grow even more than that.
Well, I'll just say, right, I would agree that the rappers of today are making a path for the Christian rappers of tomorrow. I think, again, Christian rap isn't new to me. Like I said, I may have always heard it on like a smaller scale, just like in local churches. But it is exciting to see Christian rappers get the recognition to be able to earn awards and award show for Christian rap to be a category, a Christian artist in general, to be in a category for us to kind of extend beyond the traditional gospel music. And so I do believe that it will continue to get bigger. Like I said, in Atlanta, there's a whole Christian club. And so my friend wanted to go, and I'm like, I'm down. Let's go see.
I definitely want to go to this club.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
If I can find the post that she sent it to me, I'll send it to you. But yeah, in the little snippet, like, they were having the time of their lives singing something. I think it was a popular church song. But yeah, and so that's exciting. Like, I saw something where they had a wedding and it was all Christian music, and so. Again, effectiveness, I don't know, but if is there a place for it? Is there a space for it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because people still want to,
He just said, yeah.
I said, yeah, I was agreeing with you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's a space for everything. Yeah.
Well, I mean, true, but do I think it's like blasphemous, or this is crazy, or this is something inappropriate, or they should not be doing this in the church, or there shouldn't be Christian club, like Christian and club should not be together, like, do I feel anything like that? Like, no. Like I said, I think it's exciting, and just for me, just as exciting as it is to see young people, children, older people, young adults, worshiping and eyes closed and hand raised and, falling before the Lord, it's just as exciting to get you a little bankhead bounce or whatever the kids do these days. Have a little TikTok dance to a Christian song. So
the Christian version of the Tootsie Roll. I like it.
I can't do that one. I can't do that one. But yeah.
Gotcha.
I think they should use every tool available to them. If you really believe in what you're saying and you really want to go for it, I think maybe like loosen up the bonnet a little bit, because there's a reason you're losing numbers. There's a reason why you're on the decline. And it's maybe, and I'm not saying I'm right here, I'm just saying maybe you've lost touch a little bit, And I say, speaking to the Christianity as a whole, nothing kills momentum more than something that's not a relatable to the masses.
Yeah.
Just my thought.
In my opinion, as we close, I think that's more due to just the people, just even people who grew up in church, just kind of just seeing the traditional side of church that we've been experiencing, and then realizing that that there's more. We a lot of us we talked about it on here before, that we have to do a lot of unlearning of what we kind of grew up on, because it was we were just doing a lot of things out of tradition as opposed to a genuine relationship with God. But Kelly, do you have any crystals?
I don't have no crystals, no keys today.
Oh, keys, okay.
I have
Alrighty.
some trends, Terry's trends. I'm kidding. I don't.
Alrighty. Still private at Princess
Going
Hill.
on 4 years now.
Yep. But you can. I mean, I think you can search for me.
Alrighty.
Yeah, put the effort in, people. It's at Terry Wayne Comedy on all social media platforms. Yeah, I don't even have to approve you. You can just join. It's fine. God bless you for being here. And Unclaimed Ashes is the book. It is on Amazon.
And shout out to Janessa. You can follow her at JRihanna_. She has fun over there.
They do.
And our producer at RHESA_ the letter G.
Send her your congratulations about the baby boy that is okay to talk about.
There you go. Hopefully one day he'll be a Christian rapper that sells out arenas. We are the worst ones.
Hopefully he is. I'm not.
We are the worst. Him and Terry's baby would be a little rap duo.
I'm all about it. Whatever makes my kid successful, I don't care. He could be the next Joel Osteen. Good for him. I guess. I don't. I'm kidding.
Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. We are the worst ones. Like, comment, subscribe, and please share. And until next time, we are out.
Top of the world.